What if the portal to God was a chemical shortcut to delusion? The question sounds offensive because it touches the deepest hunger most people won't admit. Not for fun, not for escape, for truth, for something real enough to rearrange your life. If you've been searching for years, you know the fatigue. You read, you pray, you meditate, you chase teachers, frameworks, rituals, then you still wake up feeling like you're outside the door. And a shortcut starts to feel like mercy. That's why DMT is so magnetic. 15 minutes, a blast of reality, entities, light, sacred geometry, the sense that you've finally found the source code behind the world. But here's the uncomfortable possibility. The experience can feel like revelation and still be counterfeit. Not because it's not intense, but because intensity isn't the same as communion. Neuroscience has a name for part of what happens. The default mode network, the system linked to your stable sense of self, gets disrupted. The filters drop, the boundaries dissolve, and perception turns into raw input without normal structure. Under that kind of pressure, the brain becomes a meaning machine in overdrive. Patterns get amplified. Symbols connect instantly. The mind starts to generate coherence from chaos because chaos is unbearable. That's why sensory anarchy is the right phrase. Not because nothing is happening, but because so much is happening at once that your brain can't verify what's true. It can only build a story that feels necessary. And here's the trap. The story feels sacred because it's overwhelming. The more the nervous system shakes, the more the mind labels it God. The more it dazzles, the more you trust it. Then sobriety begins to feel like exile. Ordinary life feels gray. Prayer feels quiet. Stillness feels empty. And the cycle starts. You chase the mountaintop, not transformation. So the question isn't, did you see something real? The question is, what is it doing to you? Because some doors open fast and leave you addicted to doors, not truth. If the key is real, it should lead somewhere. If the light is holy, it should produce something. And that's where discernment begins before you ever call an experience divine.
Ancient spirituality had language for this. Not every light is holy. Not every vision is trustworthy. There's a reason the idea of distinguishing spirits exists because the brightest thing in your mind is not always the truest thing in your soul. Modern seekers often test experiences by power, by intensity, by how otherworldly it felt. But spiritual maturity tests by fruit what it produces when the room goes quiet again. That's the first step of the discernment protocol, the fruit test. After the experience, do you become more humble or more entitled? More loving or more obsessed with being special? More grounded or more allergic to ordinary life? Second, the silence practice. 10 minutes. No music. No stimulation. No chasing signs. If silence terrifies you, that's information. Because real transcendence doesn't need augmentation, it needs surrender. Third, the surrender question. Are you seeking an experience or seeking Him? Because the heart can crave fireworks when what it actually needs is obedience. This is why shortcuts fail. You can hack perception. You can flood the mind. You can open imagery. But holiness is not accessed by force. It's formed by yielding. And that brings us to the final image, a crystalline staircase shattering into a void versus a simple wooden door that doesn't impress you at first glance. One promises instant height, the other asks for patience. But only one can be walked through sober day after day without turning your soul into a tourist of the divine. And if you've been knocking on the wrong door, the most dangerous part isn't the darkness. It's the dazzling light that convinces you you've already arrived.